It's Jocey. If you've been to my channel, welcome back. If not, welcome. Thank you so much for subscribing if you already have. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and turn on the notifications so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Today, we are covering a Q&A session about my breast reduction. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video to come out. I apologize for the delay. As I said in this previous video, I will do so when I have the energy, so bear with me, it'll come. And now I have the energy, therefore I am doing it. So over here I have a list of questions just so I don't get off track because my mind tends to wander. I have a list of questions in regards to pre-surgery, during surgery, and post-surgery. So I'm gonna review all those questions and hopefully get them all answered for you today. If you have any other questions that I maybe missed on this video, please feel free to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, so pre-surgery. So the number one question that I have received ever since bringing up the breast reduction has been, Jocey, why do you want to get a breast reduction? I'll tell you. I have been heavy-chested, or I should say was heavy-chested from about 6th grade all the way till recently. 6th grade I got made fun of a lot because while my boobs started coming in and I hit puberty before everyone else, my chest started to grow faster than most of the girls in my class. And so a lot of the boys would tease me or make fun of me saying that I stuffed my bras, at which point I wasn't even really wearing bras because I didn't think I needed to since nobody else in my class did. That was a very wrong assumption. 6th grade was rough. Moving forward, my breasts only got bigger and bigger throughout the years, and I would constantly think to myself, like, when will you be done growing? And it never happened. They just kept growing. Constantly I would be like, okay, I think they're done growing now. I think this is it. This is the final size. This is what they're gonna be for the rest of my life. I was very wrong. Very wrong. By the time I was out of high school, I had no idea what bra size I was. So clothing shopping, swimsuit shopping, bra shopping, all of it was just not fun for me. I just try to avoid shopping for new clothes because I know it's gonna be a struggle. So the main reason I ended up getting the surgery is because of my back and my neck pain. And if you know me, you know that I usually do office work or desk jobs. That was kind of the key moment this past year. Working in property management at a desk all the time, running around in heels, I was like, I can't lug these things around anymore. I decided to just research the hell out of the surgery and go for it. The next question I got quite a bit to, what size were you? Excuse me. As far as I know, a 32G. That was rather large. I am 5 feet tall, no more, no less. And to have breasts that big on me, it didn't fit my frame. It felt really weird and I was ready to just chop them off. But yeah, 32G was my size and I hope that answers the question. I had a question in regards to how did you go about getting the surgery scheduled? The first thing that I did was I contacted my primary doctor. If you don't have a primary doctor, that's totally fine. Go to the doctor, you know, any clinic, and just let them know, hey, I don't have a primary doctor, but I would like to, so I could set up a consultation for a breast reduction. This is the way that I went about it with my primary, but I'm sure you could also directly contact a surgeon and go from there. So I contacted my primary doctor. I told her about my pain in my shoulders, my neck, and my back, everything up here. She did say that I was a good candidate for breast reduction surgery. So there are a lot of different criteria that you have to meet in order to be approved for the breast reduction surgery. So as I said, I went to my primary doctor, I told her what was happening, and she sent off a referral for me. It basically means that she sent off a request to a surgeon in the area to have a consultation with me. So she's basically the middleman between me and my surgeon. She basically asked me about what kind of pain I was having, so I explained everything to her. She then sent out a referral to get a surgeon on board with the process. So she sent it out to my doctor, Dr. Antoinic at Essentia Health here in Fargo. basically I just had to kind of play a waiting game where I waited to set up a consultation with her. Her team reached out to me and said, hey, we have a referral for you for a breast reduction consultation. Would you still like to schedule that? I went in for the consultation, met the surgeon. She took pictures, she took measurements, and sent all of that off to the insurance company. But I did receive a letter a couple weeks later stating that I was not approved for my breast reduction surgery. You can imagine I was basically almost in tears because this is something that I wanted for so long, and for some reason they had declined it. However, I'm not a person that takes no for an answer. I had my doctor appeal their decision, basically just resend everything again. The letter that my insurance agency sent me basically stated that I didn't have enough breast tissue to take out or remove in accordance with this little chart they have depending on your weight, body size, all that good stuff, and then obviously the measurements that your doctor sends over to them. Then they got back to me a couple weeks later and said, hey, you're approved. And the minute I got that letter, I started freaking out. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, guess what? It's approved. I'm getting a breast reduction surgery. Ah! So I was excited. Yeah, so that's pretty much how my insurance approved the whole process. And so that way I wasn't having to pay anything out of pocket because to them it was medically necessary due to my back and everything. It all just kind of depends on if it's a necessary surgery for you or if not. And in all honesty, it's totally up to your insurance company. So that I can't really give a specific answer on. All I know is that my insurance, because it was medically necessary, covered the entire surgery. The only thing that I have had to pay out of pocket for was for my pre-op visits and my post-op visits, which was just my regular copay. I was really blessed in that aspect with the fact that insurance did cover it for me and that it's not something that I ever have to worry about again. So that is pretty much the insurance part of it. I don't know if you have any other questions about the insurance, drop it below and I will try to find you an answer. Another question, what did I do specifically to prepare for the surgery once I was approved for it? I freaked out. I got nervous. I almost backed out of the surgery a couple of times because I was like, maybe I don't need it, you know? And I had never had a surgery prior to this one, so I was really freaking out. Once I made that final decision to stick to the surgery, I went into full like preparedness mode. Like I went out with my mom and we got so many supplies. I'm gonna do a separate video on what you should get in regards to products for after surgery and before surgery, things like that. Keep a lookout for that. So another question I received from one of my followers on Facebook was, who was my doctor and where did I have the surgery? So my doctor was Dr. Antoinette from Essentia Health here in Fargo on 32nd. She is incredible, you guys. She made me feel so at ease, even just the first time meeting her at my consultation, that I knew immediately, this is my surgeon. This is who I trust. This is who I want cutting me open. If you for any reason go to a consultation and you feel like maybe this isn't the right surgeon for you, I would definitely scout out some other surgeons in the area, see if your doctor can refer you to them instead, just because you do want to feel comfortable with who is going to be performing such a drastic change on you. I just got lucky, I guess. She was amazing. She's funny. Her bedside manner was impeccable, and she made me just feel really safe and comfortable during the entire thing, from consultation to post-op. She's very meticulous, and I love that about her. The rest of my team need a shout out as well. My nurses, my OR team, the team of doctors that took care of me that day, and my nurses were just phenomenal. I got this question quite a bit before surgery and I kind of already answered it, but yes, I was nervous before surgery because I've never had one before. I've never had stitches. I've never had anything major like this, so I was kind of freaking out a little bit. Like I said, my team of doctors put me at ease so much, and that was pretty much it. I was not as nervous once I got there and realized that the team there was definitely there to support me. Moving on to the fun part of the questions, the surgery. All right, so number one, what incisions do I have? I feel like the incisions and scarring were definitely one of my main concerns before the surgery. My incisions are healing fantastically. To kind of go into a little bit more depth, which I did on my previous video, I received an anchor cut or an anchor incision. There are a couple different types of incisions that they can do for breast reductions, but the anchor cut is for the person with more breast tissue that needs to be removed rather than the person who maybe just needs a little bit removed. What I received was the anchor cut, which was a cut around my areola, an incision down, and then an incision underneath my breast as well on both sides. I feel in a year I probably won't even have any barely visible scars, and for that I am so very grateful, and I can attribute that to my surgeon. So way to go, Pamela! Ooh, another big question I got was anesthetics, whatever. The thought of being put under to go to sleep terrified the crap out of me. But I just want to assure anyone who is in kind of my position too, where you've never had to go under for anything, like your wisdom teeth, nothing, that it literally is just like going to sleep. They were like, we're gonna give you something to relax, and I'm like, okay. And then I felt kind of dizzy, and I was like, am I supposed to feel dizzy? And then I passed out, and I don't remember anything after that. It's really like falling asleep, nothing to be worried about, I promise you. After I woke up from surgery, I don't remember a whole lot. I was really groggy. I had been told that usually when you wake up from surgery after going under that you're gonna wake up nauseous. I was fine in that aspect. I wasn't nauseous at all. I was just really kind of like dizzy, like it felt like the whole room was spinning a lot. My doctor tried to wake me up the first time, and I remember not wanting to get up yet. I was like, please let me sleep. In my head anyway, but I was probably just like, no, you know? She let me sleep for about another hour, my mom said, and came back and woke me up. And I remember getting into my wheelchair. That was a struggle because my IV got like all twisted around me, and I was just a struggle bus. And I remember seeing a guy that was kind of good looking, and I was like, in my head, I don't know if I can't remember if I said it out loud or not, but I definitely remember thinking, wow, that guy looks like Alex Karev from Grey's Anatomy. Do you think I watched too much Grey's? Probably. Oh well. Yeah, I don't remember saying really anything else that was like funny per se or like loopy. I just remember being out of it. That was pretty much the surgery part of it. It was very fast. So it was like a full day thing for her, but like when you're the one getting the surgery, obviously you're out. It felt like I was in the hospital for 5 minutes, so it's not that bad. And then going home was another question I got, like, how did you get home? Well, you definitely need somebody to drive you, I'll tell you that much. And so my mom brought me home from the hospital, made sure I got all settled and everything, and we just kind of hung out for the rest of the day. This was probably the most commonly asked question after surgery. How bad is the pain, really? Obviously everybody's pain levels and pain tolerances are different. I'm a wimp, so if this helps you feel better, good, because I have no pain tolerance whatsoever. It wasn't as bad as I had anticipated it to be. I had anticipated just like an intense pain throughout my entire upper body. It's really nothing like that. It's more, it feels like you just had a really tough workout, but the only body part that you used was your boobs. It's more of like a sore feeling, but there are certain like positions that I would like sit up in or move around and do something, and I would be like, ooh, that kind of hurts, and you'll get like random shooting pains, but it's totally tolerable, especially if they give you any pain medication, which they should. That way for the first like week or so at least, or even just the first few days, you're on pain meds and you can just let your body heal without feeling all the intense pain that was probably covered by my pain meds. So it really was tolerable, and I just want to stress this, if that's what you're nervous about, please don't be, because on a scale of 1 to 10, my pain level was probably at like a 3 or a 4 most days. It's really not that bad. It's a low risk surgery, but you are still doing something very traumatic to your body, so just keep that in mind. One thing I do want to be open and honest about in regards to pain meds is that if you've never taken pain meds, just know they will back you up a lot. I did not have a bowel movement for about 5 days after surgery, which really sucked because I was bloated, I felt sick, I just hated it. So tip to anyone getting a breast reduction, and I'll add this onto the video about what I got to prepare, definitely stock up on Miralax or X-Lax chocolates. They really help kind of just make sure everything keeps flowing. I also had a question about my appetite after surgery. When I got home, I was starving because I couldn't eat anything past 12 midnight the night before surgery. I didn't eat anything from 12 a.m. to 4 p.m. the next day. Food was all I could think about. So my mom and my boyfriend and I all had Panera bread. I had some soup, I had a French baguette, and I had some water, and that pretty much filled me up. Then I just kind of would munch on crackers if I ended up feeling nauseous or anything like that. And my appetite did return within a couple of days after surgery. I would say it was kind of on the low end. I wasn't really that hungry for the next couple of days after surgery. You definitely want to eat though, because you'll want to keep up your energy as much as you possibly can while your body tries to heal itself. You've gotta fuel your body while it's trying to heal itself. You just have to. So now that I am, holy crap, I am 3 weeks post-op, almost a month post-op. I am still getting questions in regards to how my incisions are healing. As I said earlier, they're healing great. My doctor said that I am one of the fastest healers that she's ever had, so that's kind of cool. There are obviously complications that can arise during surgery, after surgery. I just happened to be lucky, and it was a pretty simple recovery for me. My incisions right now are barely visible. Obviously, you know they're there, they're incisions, but from what I expected them to be to what they, compared to what they actually are now, it's mind-blowing. Like, I did not think they would look this good, and I am so happy that they do. I received the question about what do you wear after surgery? Basically, you're gonna live in button-up shirts for a while because you can't lift anything over your head. Button-up shirts and pajamas, I lived in that for about 2 weeks after surgery. The only time I would actually put on real pants, like leggings, would be when I had to go to my post-op appointments, because other than that, I was just home and healing. So in regards to what I wear to cover my boobies, I was sent home in a surgical bra, which they put on you while you're still out and under in surgery, which it's not cute, it's ugly AF, but you gotta wear it. I ended up wearing that for about a week, and then at my 1 week post-op appointment, she told me that I could finally switch to regular sports bras, and I always make sure that I get the sports bras that zip up in the front, because that's obviously going to be easier for you once your little support system that maybe was there for the first week or so leaves and goes home, and you can finally kind of dress yourself. You're gonna want something simple to put over and then zip up. So as I was mentioning, you may have your support system there for about a week or so, maybe less. You don't necessarily need somebody to stay with you for a week like my mom did. However, it is super beneficial to have somebody stay with you as long as possible. I didn't think about a lot of things like how I was going to shower, how I was going to reach the plates in the cabinet, how I was going to get a lot of things done. You don't think about these types of things until you're healing and you're like, ow, it hurts when I do any of these basic household things. So to have somebody with you as long as possible is definitely beneficial, but it's definitely not necessary. And listen, I am Miss Independent over here. If I could have done everything myself after surgery, I totally would have. So I get it if you're one of those people that's like, I don't need help, I got it. You'll need help, I promise you. As stubborn as I can be, I kind of let them help as much as I could without feeling like I was a burden or something like that, you know? So just know you'll need support, you'll need help for sure. Oh, okay. This is probably the ultimate question that I've been getting. What bra size are you now? I have no freaking clue. I won't know my actual true new bra size until about a year. It takes a year, or sometimes a little less, but usually a year is the average for your new breasts to settle into their shape and to make sure that all the swelling goes down. So my doctor had just informed me at my last appointment that my swelling probably won't go down for another 3 to 6 months, which makes me even happier because it means that these are gonna get even smaller, which is great. This process is gonna take patience, it's gonna take time. I did ask my doctor to go down to possibly a C cup. So we'll see what happens, you know, in a year when I actually go out and buy an actual bra. But for now, I'm just kind of wearing sports bras and comfy bras that are just size like medium. So nothing specific yet. Don't worry guys, I'll share it with you so you're all aware. This wasn't a question that I received. However, it's definitely something that I've noticed with certain photos I've been posting on my social media. I was super self-conscious about my breasts growing up and even as a young adult, and it wasn't something that I was ever really proud of. You think in a society where, you know, model-esque bodies are something that everybody wants, you know, the big boobs, the small waist, the big butt, like that you'd want to have big boobs. So I would have those people that would say, well, why the heck would you get rid of your big boobs? Like, that's what society loves. And I would be like, yeah, but it's not what I love. And so I really had to kind of dig deep in that aspect and think, when I get rid of these, am I no longer attractive? Am I less attractive now than I would be with smaller boobs? Am I more attractive now with bigger boobs? And if I get rid of them, am I gonna be ugly to society? So that part really took a toll on my mental health, just kind of debating on what I was gonna look like in society's eyes. But really looking back on the surgery, it really doesn't matter what society thinks, because I did this for me, myself, and I. It was to make me happy, not to make everyone else around me happy. And that's kind of the main thing that I really wanted to point out in this video, was that my mental health has gone from being so super insecure about my body and what I can wear and the stress of summer coming up with wearing swimsuits. That is out the window now. I can wear whatever and feel confident in my skin, and I really feel like this is the body that I was meant to be in. This is the body that I love and that I admire. And I thank my old boobs for being there for me, for doing whatever they were doing for me, right? Like, I appreciate my body at any stage it's in, but right now I really appreciate it because it's something I can handle. I just feel like I can breathe now, you know? It's just a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, literally and figuratively speaking. So it's been a whirlwind of emotions. I do not regret it at all. And that's probably the number one thing that I want to share too, is that this surgery, it's been 3 weeks and it's already been life altering, not just for my mental health, but just in general. I just feel more myself and more like this is the skin that I was meant to be in. I couldn't be any more happy that I did this. Like, I'm thrilled. My mind is blown that I fit into medium bras. I've never been able to. The whole experience is an emotional one for sure, but okay. Sorry guys, got a little emotional. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I got a little emotional, but this is how it is. It's an emotional roller coaster, and they're all happy tears. I'm so ecstatic that I did this for myself. And if you're thinking about getting one or you have one scheduled, I can almost guarantee you that you will not regret this decision, okay? You will not. It'll be the best decision that you've ever made for yourself. I can't imagine not ever getting the surgery. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to drop them below in the comments so I can get to those. And I hope this was educational. I hope it was informational, informative. And I hope this was informative for you. I'm going to go ahead and share my week 1 through week 3 post-op pictures so you guys can see how the scarring actually is. I want to be as open and vulnerable and raw with you guys as I possibly can. So I'll go ahead and share those on the next slide. If you are not into cuts, I definitely suggest skipping the next part here and just cutting the video off here. Thank you so much for watching. It is greatly appreciated and I love you all. All right, bye guys.